Kill the lights.
Did you just have a stroke? What the fuck was that?
That's a TikTok audio where it's like, bro, who's got you smart? It was like from like 2 years ago, probably.
Oh, so dead meme? Cool, thanks. Staying relevant, and young and hip.
Good Friday.
Hello.
Good Friday.
Welcome back.
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
That's incorrect, Kevin. We're releasing this on Monday. You know that because you've been here for almost a year.
Yes, but we're recording on Good Friday.
No, Kevin, actually, we're recording on No Housework Day, so get your shit together. Anyway, welcome back to Fruity Cereal.
Well, if it's No Housework Day, then I don't have to get my shit together then, right?
No, you still have to behave like an adult. I know that's a lot to ask of you, but at least try.
But I don't have to do any housework, though.
Kevin, you don't know how to do housework.
Well, you know what? It's like Cardi B. I don't cook, I don't clean. But let me tell you what this means.
But do you bathe? But do you bathe? Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, Connor. I'm not.
You hesitated.
I'm not Jake. I'm not Jake Gyllenhaal, Connor.
That's what?
I said I'm not Jake Gyllenhaal. I bathe.
Jake Gyllenhaal does not bathe.
No.
Okay, that's news to me. Anyway,
why do you think Taylor dumped him?
I don't know, nor do I care. Anyway, let's continue. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing okay, but also not okay, because yeah, remember how you got into a car accident? I kind of did too, but it's not as bad as yours. It's not as bad as yours, obviously. As you can see, I have both eyes, and you do too now, which boo!
I do, yes.
We miss Patchy Connor. Boo!
I don't like Patchy Connor. That was God, I still have the eye patch, but it's God forbid I have to wear it ever again. But yeah, no, I did lose a little bit of eyesight in this eye, but I will get it back at some point. I'm just glad I'm not ugly anymore.
Well, that's good, but I miss Patchy Connor.
I don't.
Anyway,
but you're okay. You're like,
yeah, I'm okay, but my car does have to go to the shop on Wednesday, and hopefully it won't cost that much. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let's hope we can save up enough money because we want to go on that cruise with Tony Cannoli and
we
do all the fun gay stuff.
I know. Well, there is good news. I got a new job, so
no way.
Yeah, which means that you have to move out of your parents' house.
Me?
No, me.
Okay. Where's this new job? Can we talk? Like,
yeah, it's a hosting job at a hotel resort. It's at a restaurant in a hotel resort. So like,
very cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so happy Easter, everybody. By the way,
if you do choose to celebrate, happy Easter indeed.
Yes, we celebrate our. You know, the one who died for our sins and rose again.
Barbie?
Actually, I was referring to Jeffrey the giraffe, but yeah, I guess Barbie.
Is that what I'm looking at behind you on the bed? Kevin? Is that what I'm looking?
No, that's a dinosaur, Connor. That's the same dinosaur I have on my bed every week.
Kevin, I hate you. Just you're trying to gaslight me, and it's almost working, and that's why I don't like you anymore. Anyway, mug of the day. This is my Wicked mug, which somehow I have not shown on the podcast yet. I don't know, like knowing me, I've not shown my Wicked mug, but
wow, I thought you ran out of them. I guess you lied.
I know.
Now who's the gaslighter?
Mine was just straight up lying. I'm not trying to make you doubt reality. Anyway, also, I know we're recording this on Friday, but if you are watching this on the day we release it, happy Golfers Day. Like, If you play golf, what are you doing listening to us? We are not sports friendly.
Or
also, like,
friendly.
Let me talk about something. For some reason, the sport of golf or the game of golf, whatever we call, in my mind, it's one of those things that it's not homophobic, but it seems homophobic. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Like if somebody says I play golf, I automatically think, oh, they're not a safe person. I know I probably sound nuts, but that's where it goes.
No, that's valid. That is valid. There's a lot of things that feel like X, Y, and Z, but aren't. Like, with what feels homophobic, but isn't. What feels racist, but isn't.
Saying The Wizard of Oz is your favorite movie feels racist. Shout out to Bob the Drag Queen. Come be on the show.
Oh my God, Connor.
Hey, we got Tony Cannoli. Anything's possible.
We did get Tony Cannoli.
Kevin, I have so many things I want to talk to you. I know you're going to set me, but Cannoli, I want to talk movies. I want to talk entertainment stuff. So let's get your stuff out of the way so we can get sad and then talk about the fun stuff.
Wow, you just automatically assume my stories are going to be sad.
You always have sad stories. Not for nothing. It's like depressing.
Yeah, well, we're living in a depressing era, Connor.
I know. Oh God. Let's just dive on in because I want to get it out.
Okay, relax, Connor. None of my stories on my segment, Sounds Gay I'm In, are going to be depressing, okay? Or they're going to be minimal depressing stories, okay? I promise.
Fine.
So first story is Florida lawmakers vote to expand the state's horrific Don't Say Gay bill. I lied.
I hate you and everything you stand for, Kevin. Get the fuck out of here.
Florida lawmakers have voted to expand the state's archaic Don't Say Gay bill. Under the harmful bill signed in March 2022, teachers and schools are barred from discussing sexual orientation or gender identity in primary grade levels or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students. While the previous legislation only affected students between kindergarten and third grade, under the new bill, HB 1069, conversations surrounding gender identity and sexual orientation would be banned up to 8th grade. On March 31st, Florida's Republican-led House of Representatives approved of an extension of the Don't Say Gay bill with a 77-35 vote. The hateful legislation would also make it compulsory for school officials and staff to disregard trans and non-binary students' gender identity and desired pronouns. Now that last bit, this just what end? Well, we know what to what end. We know Absolutely. what to what end, but it's like what's you can argue, oh, well, kids should know about the sexuality of their teachers, even though it's like, well, they can brag about, the women can brag about their husbands and the husbands can brag about what. Hell, the teachers can arrange Are you drinking soda?
No. I have a fidget toy. I'm sorry. I will stop being loud.
Okay. All right.
I'm autistic. I need to play with the stuff.
Well, don't you have a quiet fidget toy you can play with?
Damn, bitch. Continue your point if you had one.
Sorry, my point was, did you see that story about those two teachers that had their students hold a mock wedding for them?
Yes, I did, and it instantly pissed me off.
Yeah, it's like, so straight teachers can get away with that, but a gay teacher can't even say,
you want to know something?
I have a husband.
As a kid, I know I would have loved doing that in class. I know I would have been so happy for my teacher. You're getting married. I'm so excited for you. But now that I'm an adult and I know that if a same-sex couple tried to do that and they would be charged with pedophilia and grooming, I'm just the double standard is you're not hiding it. It's disgusting. Oh God. I'm now I'm not trying. I'm succeeding in being completely polar opposite, because if I can't do A and B, whatever, I don't want anybody to be able to. Now, I don't want any teachers talking about their spouses, straight, gay, whatever it is. I don't care. Do not talk about anything in front of my kids now. It's malicious compliance is what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. I do not blame you for that. Yeah, but a lot of people are against this, so
something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
All right, next story.
Fun.
Well, this is a better story. A Texas federal judge ordered orders censored LGBTQ plus books to be returned to public libraries.
I did see this, and I love that. Okay, continue.
Yes. A Texas federal judge has ordered public libraries in Llano County to return an array of previously banned LGBTQ plus books. Back in April 2022, 7 residents filed a lawsuit against county officials after they forced libraries to remove or restrict various books with queer and racial themes. Some of the titles removed included Castle, The Origins of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson, Being Jazz, My Life as a Transgender Teen by Jazz Jennings, and They Call Themselves the KKK, The Birth of an American Terrorist Group by Susan Campbell Bartoletti. In the suit, the individuals accused the public officials who claimed that the inclusive books were inappropriate of violating their First and 14th Amendment rights. Now, after a nearly year-long legal battle, U.S. District Judge Robert Pittman ruled in favor of the 7 individuals by instructing the Llano County libraries to reshelve the LGBTQ plus and critical race theory inclusive books. Although libraries are afforded great discretion for their selection of acquisition decisions, the First Amendment prohibits the removal of books from libraries based on either viewpoint or content discrimination, Pittman said in his ruling on April 1st.
Delightful.
And that's no joke.
What?
Because it was on April 1st.
Okay. If you say so. But that is great. I do like that they're actually getting, like, with such speed too. They're like, they have to get them back so quickly. So I'm happy that's happening.
Yeah. I mean, well, it has been a year. But then again, trials. Then again, legal system. Yeah, that's right. But then again, it took, 7 years for that Gwyneth Paltrow trial to get into place?
I have no idea.
I think it was in 2016 when the incident happened.
If you say so.
Anyway, so next story. Drag Race winner Jinkx Monsoon joins the cast of Doctor Who in major role.
I did see this. She was very excited.
2-time Drag Race winner Jinkx Monsoon has joined the cast of Doctor Who's new season in what is believed to be a major role. In a galaxy of comets and supernovas, here comes the biggest star of all, showrunner Russell T Davies said. Jinkx Monsoon is on a collision course with the TARDIS, and Doctor Who will never be the same again. Discussing her upcoming role in Doctor Who, Jinkx said, "I'm honored, thrilled, and utterly excited to join Doctor Who. Russell T Davies is a visionary and a brilliant writer. I can't wait to get into the weeds with him and crew. I hope there's room in the TARDIS for my luggage."
That's very cute. I fell out of the Doctor Who fandom for a long time because I'm one of those people, if I miss even a single episode, I just never watch it again. I always
it's like, well, too late.
Now I gotta catch up on 2 episodes. Now I gotta catch up on 3. Oh, well, I guess I'll just never watch the show again. And it's, I know that's what depression does, kids. So, yeah, no, I will definitely pick myself back up and engage with the show once Jinkx is on. I'm very excited for where this is going to go.
Way to go, Jinkx Monsoon, winning All Stars, getting cast in Chicago, and now
Wendy Williams got that. Nene Leakes got that. Kevin, we could get that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
No, stop it, please. Continue with your stories.
All right. Bad Bunny opens up about his first on-screen kiss with Gael Garcia Bernal in new Cassandra biopic. It was very cool. So we talked about
this. Yeah,
we did. But now Bad Bunny has opened up about his first on-screen kiss with a man in a new interview. Starring in a new biopic, Cassandra, set in the 1980s, the film follows Saul Armendariz, aka Cassandra, Gael Garcia Bernal, and his impactful life as the first openly gay wrestler in Mexico's Lucha Libre. According to Deadline, Bad Bunny is set to appear in the film as Bernal's love interest. Now, in a recent interview with Time magazine, the music superstar opened up about his role and first on-screen kiss with a man. "It was cabron, badass. My first kiss for a movie, and it was with a man. That's the penalty I get for being with so many women during my life."
Ew.
I don't know. I don't think he meant that when he meant it like that when he said penalty.
I was gonna say it's not a punishment, but okay. But so Bad Bunny is not queer.
People are speculating that he is, but I don't think yeah, some people in the comments are like, saying like, yeah, that's kind of weird for him to use the word penalty.
Okay. Well, I mean, whatever. I just not the word I would have chosen, but still. Thank you for not like, spitting. Oh my god. I just got a flashback. Kevin, you remember watching the Big Gay Sketch Show on Logo when we were in high school?
Of course, Connor.
There was a sketch that I thought was so stupid at that, but now that I'm older, I'm like, this is a genius sketch. It's two straight actors. I think it was like Antonio Banderas and like some other, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're playing like a parody of Brokeback Mountain, and they're taking on the ultimate challenge, playing gay. And it's like they have to do like a forced on-screen kiss. And like you can see how visibly uncomfortable they are because they're fragile male egos. But it was, I just, as a kid, I was like, this is really stupid. But now I'm like, no, this is kind of a reflection of real life.
Really? I thought it was like, yeah, that's about right. Even back then, like as a kid, I was like, yeah, that's about right. It does seem, well, it did seem like a little weird that like, yeah, we're praising straight actors for playing gay so much. It's like, why don't you just cast gay actors to play gay?
And it's always just like such a big deal. Like, oh my god, this straight actor kissed a man on screen. It's like it means nothing. It's like I've kissed women before, and I didn't like make a big deal out of it. Like, get over yourselves.
I did.
It's repulsive, right?
It is.
Absolutely awful.
I remember I had to kiss a girl in college, and we were actually both gay. And
wait, when you say you had to, somebody had a gun to your head? Like, what are you
talking about? But it was part of it. It was part of a play that we were doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like a weird, like modern version of Arthurian lore. It was about like Lady Guinevere and Lancelot having an affair. It was really weird. But like the way we framed it, we separated our lips with like my finger. It was so awkward.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like doing this.
I
know.
It was so awkward. But like, here's the thing: I never kissed anybody at that point. So like, I didn't want that to be like my first kiss. That's what's kind of
my first kiss. I was like more or less. I was dating a girl at the time because I was under the impression that I was indeed bisexual, is what we call bi now, gay later, biphobic, but it still was true, for me at least. We were sitting in my basement and we were dating for like a full year, and we had never had a kiss at that point because I was like, I've never kissed anybody before, and I don't want to just like, dive in it. She more or less just climbed on top of me and started like shoved her tongue in my mouth, and I remember taking her home. I came back to the house, I brushed my teeth because I felt so violated.
Ooh, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, Chris Hulsher, you're a bitch. Anyway, sorry for the name drop. Fuck.
She shoved her tongue down your throat.
She more or less molested me in my own house, and I was like, yeah, I think I might be gay.
Oh, yeah, that's not okay. That's pretty bad.
You know what's even sadder? I don't remember my first gay kiss. I have no idea who it was with, what age I was. I know it was after age 16 because that was when Chris got me. But yeah, I have no idea who my first gay kiss was. That just speaks to my slutty side, I guess. But yeah,
I guess so.
Oh man. Anyway, you had a story to talk about.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say one more thing about the whole like, is Bad Bunny gay or not, or the whole straight actors playing gay being praised thing. I think it should be mandatory viewing for everyone to watch that episode of the other two about queer baiting.
Yes, you had talked about that on the show before too.
I have, and
it was framed like a horror movie.
Yeah, it was, and I think it's mandatory viewing. I think everybody needs to watch that episode.
Okay.
All right, so moving on. Legendary drag star Heklina dies in London.
I did see this. I think I sent it to you, actually.
You might have. I'm not sure, though.
Yes,
but yes, we've lost an icon. Drag star Peaches Christ shared on social media on Monday, April 3rd, that her best friend and mommy queerest co-star and fellow drag legend Heklina passed away. Details surrounding her death are currently unknown. The pair were on tour in the UK when the tragedy occurred. Heklina got her start in San Francisco's drag scene in the early 90s and later co-founded Soma nightclub Oasis and the Daytime Realness Party, which celebrates the joy of drag. We honor Heklina's life and legacy and thank for paving the path forward. May she serve in peace.
Love.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
And I did, and it says that the details surrounding her death are currently unknown. And I did see an update that said that there was no foul play involved, but they still don't know.
All right. Well, at least that's something positive about the whole thing.
I mean, I guess, but still very sad.
Yeah.
All right, so last story, and this one's also kind of sad.
No.
Yeah, I know. I really did lie to you, Connor, when I said that none of these stories would be sad. I lied.
Thank God I started a new medication regimen. God damn.
Well, that's okay. We could talk about fun things in a minute,
Yeah.
but first, Scream 6 has reportedly been banned in Lebanon over inclusion of LGBTQ plus characters.
Of course.
Yes. Scream 6 has reportedly been banned from being shown in Lebanon cinemas due to its inclusion of openly LGBTQ plus characters. The film, which is the 6th installment of the hugely popular slasher franchise, is said to have had its release delayed from March 10th to April 13th in the region. It will now, however, not be shown in Lebanon after Paramount refused to censor anything in the movie, Beirut.com reported. Saw Brokeback Mountain on the big screen in Lebanon back in 2006, said Lebanon-based film critic Anis Tebet on Twitter. Today, Scream 6, a solid sequel, by the way, has been banned in Lebanon because of LGBT characters.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
I'm thinking, wow, Brokeback Mountain is so overt with, the queer message, and this one's oh, there's gay people existing in it, and now you're getting the whole movie banned.
Yeah, it's like we could show people getting murdered, like massacred and murdered, but God forbid you show gay people.
Yeah, really. Jeez.
Anyway, so that concludes my segment, Sounds Gay. I'm in.
I had one more thing. This is like a happy, sad story that I just had to talk about with you. I think I sent this to you on TikTok. Trans icon Dylan Mulvaney. I think we discussed her before, right?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Well, I don't think we've ever discussed her on the podcast though, or maybe we have.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
We've been doing this for so long now.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Dylan Mulvaney is a trans influencer on TikTok. If you don't know her, look her up. She is an absolute delight. She rose to fame doing her Days of Girlhood, where she talks about her journey in transitioning and identity discovery, whatever. She just got a brand deal with Bud Light, of all brands, which for some reason I thought was hilarious, being like, wow, I'm transitioning, to my female identity. I'm now sponsored by one of the most masculine drinks out there. And I was like, the irony is not lost on me, but she is absolutely, they sent her a personalized can with her face on it for day 365, which was really sweet. But now, here's where the sad part, it's not even sad, it's more like funny. All the masculine homophobic dude bros are like, I'm going to throw out all my Bud Light and record videos of me doing it. I'm going to pour it down the drain. And then I'm going to go and get Coors Light. And I was like, I will see you in June when those labels turn to rainbows, because Coors Light has been very vocal about supporting the community. But I just was like, this is so fun. Like the fragile masculinity at its finest, being like, a woman's face, a trans woman's face is on my beer can. Garbage.
Yep, they're probably gonna just buy more just to destroy it. They're gonna support it even more.
Part. When these people are like, you can protest however you want, but you're still putting money in their pockets.
Exactly, but they don't realize that because they're stupid.
That's why I didn't burn my Harry Potter books. Like, what's the fucking point? Oh my God. But
if you don't want to support something because, of something that you don't agree with, then just don't support it anymore.
Exactly. I don't need to make a demonstrative, fireworks display, so to speak. You know, it's, I don't know. But congratulations, Dylan, which, by the way, she did. This was so cute. Remember that audio that was going around of like, who's the little girl at the Plaza Hotel? I'm Eloise.
Well, which one? Which version of it?
It was like a song written for like the radio play version. Who is the little girl that lives at the Plaza in New York?
Yeah, I know. I referenced it last week, but like, which like version of it with the punchline are you referring to?
I'm going with the original. Well, I mean, God. Anyway, she made a video because she was a guest at the actual Plaza, and she did an Eloise cosplay. And she like stayed in like an Eloise themed room. It was so adorable. And I just like, I watched the video. I'm smiling like an idiot, like in the break room at my job. And somebody was just like, who's got you smiling like that? And I was like, Dylan Mullaney. I was like, I love her.
Bro, who's got you smiling like that? Like, kill the lights.
Did you just have a stroke? What the fuck was that?
That's a TikTok audio where it's like, bro, who's got you smile? It was like from like 2 years ago, probably.
Oh, so dead meme? Cool, thanks. Staying relevant and young and hip.
Okay, it's not a dead meme. It was an audio that was a thing back then, and I don't know. I thought you would have rememred it.
Dishonor to the Olier family. They have failed to raise a good daughter.
I mean, that's true, but that's beside the point.
I cannot wait to send that clip to Allison. I am so gonna get you to sell.
Oh wait, shit. Oh wait, shit. Well, I thought you were talking about me.
I did too, but then you agreed really quickly, so shit.
Yeah, well, I thought you were talking about me, though.
Sure thing. Damn. She's gonna be so mad at you. Ooh. Anyway,
that wasn't about that. Okay, you can't take that out of context.
Watch me, bitch. Anyway, so I want to talk about fun stuff that makes us happy. The first thing I got to talk about, Kevin, you saw the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I did see that.
Okay, without spoiling the movie, because I have not seen it yet because I'm poor. Did you enjoy the movie?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fine. It's a nice movie.
All right. Is it still like an Illumination movie? Like, is it like?
Yeah, it is a bit. I will say it's the best one that they've made since the first Despicable Me.
Really, better than the Grinch?
Yeah, not exactly a high bar, but you know, but
my chair is coming loose.
But like that's my accurate assessment is that it's the best one that they've made since the first Despicable Me movie.
Okay, in terms of like somebody who doesn't know the Super Mario Brothers, could they enjoy this movie, or do you have to be like a fan?
I mean, here's the thing: there's so much for fans of the Mario franchise to like in this movie. Here's the thing: I liked the way that they incorporated all the references to the games in the movie. I really enjoyed that. But I feel like if you don't know anything about Mario and you're not a fan of it, I think that it's still like a fine kids movie. It's like a cute little kids movie. It's fine. It's, you know, you're probably going to be like, well, I mean, at least that wasn't too long. It's like, you know, it's only an hour and a half long. So it's a pretty short movie. In fact, I think it actually could have benefited from like an extra half hour, or maybe not a half hour, but maybe like 20 minutes, maybe like an extra 20 minutes.
Okay.
So that like, you know, just to like, you know, pad things out a little bit, or like make things a little bit of a, you know, a more natural pace, maybe give the characters a little more development. Like it is kind of weird. I mean, the characters having development is also kind of a weird thing. Like seeing Mario talk about how his dad thinks he's a disappointment is kind of funny.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's actually in the movie.
That's actually in the movie, yes.
I love that. Oh my God, that's, whoa. Did not expect that. Okay, my dad thinks I'm a disappointment. Holy shit.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi have parents. Did you know that?
I mean, in some aspect, I think I knew, but to put like actual like faces to it, I think would be weird.
Yeah, they have faces. They have faces. You see them.
I don't want to see Mario's dad. Ew.
Well, he's in this movie.
Jesus.
His dad and his mom, and I think like an uncle and a grandpa too. Like, you know, they kind of do have like an Italian family dinner scene.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All of the Sopranos.
Kind of, I guess.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, like the first 20 minutes of the movie do take place in Brooklyn. So
okay.
So it's one of those things where it's like they live in the real world. They live in the quote unquote real world, and the Mushroom Kingdom is like a fantasy world that they travel to. That's kind of the premise of the movie.
So it's like The Wiz.
Or literally any movie about traveling, or The Wizard of Oz.
I'm thinking The Wiz because we're going from Brooklyn to like fantasy place. You know what I mean?
Or Enchanted.
I mean, that's the opposite.
Well, yeah, that's in reverse. That's
Still,
true.
okay. So, I mean, this is a concept that's been done before, but it's like a winning concept, so you can't really go that
Yeah,
wrong.
I mean, I kind of expected it, and it's not the first time I think like a Mario adaptation has done something like that. Like, I think that's what the premise was of the cartoon from the 80s, and
so.
And even kind of the live action movie, sort of.
Live action movie, the first half hour is all Brooklyn, and it's nauseating.
The live action, oh my god, when you compare this to the live action movie, it's kind of crazy because the live action movie is just a fucking fever dream that they just slap the word Mario on top of.
Well, I mean, this could be a hyperfixation of its own, but I will get into that. The development process for that movie was so fucking chaotic. They get a new script every day. The actors had no time to memorize their lines. And like people were hired and fired left, right, and center. And then they just ended up with whatever we got. Like, I think Fiona Shaw did an interview where she talked about, like, yeah, it was the most chaotic couple of weeks of my life. And Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were like, we were drunk 24/7 because, like, everybody was miserable on set for that movie because nobody knew what the fuck was going on. It was the first time a video game movie had ever existed. And it was, I don't know, it was just a nightmare.
Okay, but you know how I would describe this new Mario movie? It's kind of like the Lego movie, but like a little less nuanced, though.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Like they kind of do the same thing where, like, you know, like it's unlike the Lego movie. They don't really give you a reason why the main character is the main character and not the more competent female companion to the main character.
Okay. Okay.
Because in case you didn't know, Peach is competent in this movie.
Yeah, no, she and Luigi essentially swapped roles.
Yeah, they essentially swapped roles. Which you know, now that I think about it, it does actually kind of make more sense for Mario's character to try to save his brother rather than just some random woman that he doesn't know.
Absolutely, yeah, that I actually was totally in agreement with. But I guess the biggest question that I have to ask: do we make Bowigi canon in this movie?
No, it is not canon.
I am very upset. Okay,
no.
like,
but Bowser does. We do get to hear Bowser sing, though.
I heard that on TikTok. He was singing like a love song to Peach.
He does, and it was great. I loved Jack Black's performance as Bowser. Like, I love that they just turned him into this like petty, insecure asshole who just has like the biggest fucking crush on Peach.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was kind of low-key rooting for him. I'm like, oh, you go get her, man, you go get her. But like, obviously, you know, invading your kingdom and, you know, threatening to kill your citizens, it's kind of a deal breaker for some people. So
some people would call that a turnoff.
Yeah. So like, you know, I can kind of understand. It's like, I feel like he just needed to go about it better. He just needed better. He needed, like, you know, a life coach, you know, someone to tell him, like, hey, you know, why don't you just ask her out, man? Like, just be like, hey.
Less is more.
Yeah, less is more, man.
All right. So I will get around to seeing this movie at some point once Easter's over. Like, I got to get through the whole family dinner. That's another battle in and of itself. But the other thing that I want to talk about this because this year is a good year for movies because, like, we got a lot of movies coming out this year that I'm genuinely excited enough to want to see them, like, you know, in like a Dolby cinema. Like, we got the Mario movie, we got Little Mermaid. Yeah, I want to see like on like a big screen with like good sound. We got Little Mermaid, Super Mario, but now we got the Barbie movie.
Yes, the Barbie movie.
It has been going all over the internet. We got the memes, we got the posters. You've seen the trailer, right?
He's everything, and he's just Ken.
And he is just Ken. This movie is, oh my God. I am so excited for this movie because, first of all, Margot Robbie obviously is Mother. Like, I'm very much excited for her. Ryan Reynolds, I can take him or leave him, and clearly so can everybody else in this movie.
Ryan Reynolds?
What did I say?
You mean Ryan Gosling?
Yes, I got my generic white men mixed up. I'm sorry.
No, Ryan Reynolds, I don't think would make for a good Ken, but
Absolutely not.
Ryan Gosling, I think he's perfect in this role. Can we talk about Gen Z being like, he's too old to be Ken?
He's a doll. He's a doll. So
he is a doll.
Okay, fuck. I'm sorry. Just from the trailer that I've seen, this entire movie just looks like one big Crazy Ex-Girlfriend music video.
It does.
You know what? It's got that exact aesthetic, the exact like comedy beats, and I was so excited for this movie. Also, the fact that I actually found out about this through a friend of the channel, Tori. This movie's got like heavy Wizard of Oz overtones.
I mean, I don't know. I guess.
Okay,
I can't tell. I don't know what the plot is. They didn't say what the.
Let's break it down. First shot we get is Barbie in her pink gingham dress. That's obviously reminiscent of Dorothy in her blue gingham. Okay, that's right there. You see her in her dream car, or whatever the fuck you call it. I don't know. Going down Malibu Boulevard, passing by a movie theater that just so happens to be showing The Wizard of Oz with like posters of the characters. And then we get the shot of her leaving Barbie land to go into the real world. And everybody's saying like, oh, this is like the same thing, you know, wanting to see another world, another way of living. And that's going to be like, you know, realizing that like, you know, home is, you know, maybe not the best place for you at the moment. But yeah,
home is maybe not the best place for you at the moment. That's the
said the guy that's been angst tweeting about Asheville, North Carolina for about a month now. You tweeted yesterday, I've been in North Carolina longer than Lil Nas X has been famous, and I just groaned at my phone. And I was like, oh my God, he's sad.
Yes, I am.
I know. That's why you got to update your medication regimen. Try Abilify. Oh my God, that was... Before I get into my hyperfixation, I had to talk about this. I started a new medication the other day called Abilify.
Okay.
The entire reason I'm on this medication is because I'm a bitch. I told my therapist I'm irritable like all the time. I was in Target a few days ago and I found myself being like, why the fuck are there 3 people in the same aisle as me? I want to burn the building down. And I was like, hey, I don't think this is how I'm supposed to be behaving. So she says, we're going to put you on Abilify. Start taking it every day. It's like 2 milligrams. It's not that bad. But when I go into, you know, work, my pharmacist says, Connor, I filled your medication. I kept it by my computer so nobody would be looking at it. I was like, what do you mean looking at it? I don't care if people know what I'm on, but that's just me. It was nice of her to do that. But then I look at the common uses, like I always read like what I'm taking this medication for. It says this medication, the most common use is to
horse medicine.
No, to treat schizophrenia.
Oh.
And I was just like, oh, maybe that's what she was trying to like protect me. And I was like, no, I'm just a bitch. And that's why I'm on this medication. I thought it was really
this funny. Barbie is a bitch.
This Barbie is a raging bitch. Oh my God. That was, oh God. And I wanted to change my Twitter profile to a Barbie poster, but I got lazy. So that is not what you're going to see if you follow me on social media. But
he's just Ken, and I'm just Ken.
He's just Ken. But there's only one Alan.
There's only one Alan. There's only one Midge, too.
Can we talk about Midge for a minute? I love this. This movie is so deep cut if you're into like the Barbie lore. There's so much lore with the Barbie universe.
It's strange. Because I thought that, doesn't Barbie have like a bunch of friends who have different names? Like, so why are they all named Barbie then?
Well, I mean, we clearly got Midge. We might have Kelly. Who knows? We could get Kelly being played by like, I don't know, who's a young blonde actress. I don't know children actors.
Florence, young or like a child?
Yeah, like who would play Kelly, I guess.
I don't know. Probably one of the kids from Outer Banks, maybe. Or
I was going to say, here's where my brain goes. My brain immediately went like, oh, Dakota Fanning. She's like 35 now.
Yeah, Dakota Fanning is like our age.
Yeah. No, she's not our age. She's a little younger than us, so she's like in her late 20s.
Yeah. So like,
I don't know, maybe, she definitely has like
Dove Cameron. That's a young actress. Dove Cameron.
She's definitely, she wouldn't play Kelly. Kelly's supposed to be like an actual like 5-year-old.
Oh, well, I don't know any 5-year-old. Oh, Kelly. Wait, I'm getting her confused with like Barbie's
Skipper.
like Skipper? Was that
You're
the name
thinking-
of the name of Barbie's like teenage sister?
Yeah, growing up Skipper, the one where you turn her arm and she grew taller and grew boobs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I kind of do. I vaguely. Yeah, like it's like ringing a bell.
She's in the same controversial doll segment that you'll find Midge in. So, they would never do this. I was gonna say, like, I wonder if we're gonna get like a Barbie eating Oreos in reference to. We would never. They would never. Greta Gerwig would not stand for that. Absolutely
I don't think
not.
so. That's probably
like I would love to see them address the controversial dolls set. Like, there's so many of them. SpongeBob Barbie. Oh God. Anyway, I'm very excited for this movie. So, but for now, Kevin, I want to launch into my hyperfixation of the week. This is okay. Kevin, have you ever seen Final Destination?
Yes.
Okay, how many of those movies have you actually seen?
Well, it's actually a funny thing. I don't think I've ever actually seen any of them all the way through, but I've seen so much of them. Like, I've seen so many clips from them, but I'm pretty sure I have, like, consecutively seen the whole movies.
You've seen the movie, just not all in one sitting, just like clips here and there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, fair enough. But you know, the general theme with all these movies is like, you know, basically Rube Goldberg machines of death, right?
Yes.
It's just like, you know, series of unfortunate events coming to, like, you know, several people dying in one scene.
Yes, and there's a premonition, and you know, all the movies begin with a premonition of a huge disaster, and then the main character who had the premonition, he's like stops everyone from dying.
Don't get on that plane. Don't go on that boat. Don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And then actually, they've never had one on a boat.
Free movie idea, Universal, whoever holds the copyright, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and then, you know, they all die one by one in crazy ways.
Absolutely. Kevin, today I'd like to talk to you about a real life instance of Final Destination-esque premonition shit, okay? I found out about this on a TikTok, and I have been, I shouldn't be laughing because people died, but like, this story is so fucking wild. I just have to share with you, okay? So, picture it. Buenos Aires, Argentina, October 21st, 1988. A little boy is playing with his pet poodle on the 13th story apartment that he lives in with his family. This poodle's name is Cachi, by the way. Again, this is Argentina. That's probably a common name over there. I don't know. But anyway, he's playing fetch with the poodle inside the apartment, right? You know, bouncing the ball off the walls, poodle catches it, whatever. Whatever happened, I guess the balcony door was open, right? The ball bounces out onto the balcony, and because the poodle is, like, you know, very excited, running after the ball, sadly, the poodle goes through the bars of the railing and falls to his death outside the 13th floor window. Goodbye, Cachi, sadly. Now, on the ground floor, a 75-year-old woman named Marta Espina is looking through the windows of the shop on the ground floor. She's looking at a rug that she wanted to buy because, I don't know. Cachi, traveling at terminal velocity down the side of the building, slams into Marta's head, breaking her neck and killing both him and Marta instantly, right? Just imagine you're like window shopping and you just get slammed in the head with a fucking dog going like a million miles an hour and snaps your neck. Like, that's, I don't know why. That was just like absolutely.
I feel like if this was a Final Destination movie, there'd be more chain reactions.
Oh, Kevin, we continue. As this is happening across the street, when this happens, there's a 46-year-old woman named Edith Sola who sees what's going on. She sees a crowd of people coming on. Like, a woman just got hit in the head with a falling dog. Like, they run over the street. They see, like, oh my God, maybe we can help. Edith runs into the street, cross and help. At this time, she literally steps in front of the Line 55 bus, which is going 55 miles an hour, or it's going full speed. Sends Edith flying, and then she lands on the pavement, also dying upon impact. And I believe that's one of the more famous deaths in the, you know, Final Destination movies, like somebody getting hit by a bus.
That's true. Yeah, there was, because it was subtle. It was so sudden, and like nobody saw it coming. It was like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, whoa.
And then now, while this is happening, an elderly man who was never identified. We have a name for the dog, but not this elderly man. I don't know why that happened. But an elderly man who was never identified witnessed Marta getting struck by Catchy, and he's a very devout man. He falls to his knees and begins praying because, like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? This is an act of God that is unlike anything else I've ever witnessed. As he's praying, Edith then walks in the streets, get hit by the bus. He sees that happen. He begins to pray louder and faster because he's terrified. He thinks it's the end of days. At this time, his heart starts palpitating. He clutches his chest and falls over. He was then pronounced dead on arrival once they took him to the hospital. And that's, thank goodness, that is where the deaths finally stop. But I was just laughing hysterically, being like, this sounds like a poor first draft of a Final Destination thing, but this is something that actually happened in the 80s. And yeah, so I don't know how he didn't get identified, but that poor elderly man just had the worst day possible, witnessing like so much death and then finally becoming one of them.
Well, I don't know. I think that boy with his dog, I think he had a pretty bad day. You know, he lost his dog.
Imagine being that little boy being like, Mom, I didn't open, like, Mom, my dog is dead. And she's like, well, you left the door open. What did you expect? It's like, no, Mom, I'm also responsible for the death of 2 humans. Technically, well, I don't think.
Technically 3.
Technically, I believe he's only responsible for Marta's. Edith, like, you know, walked into the street of her own volition, and then the only
reason she walked into the street was because Marta died.
Yeah, exactly. But like, she made that choice of her own volition. You know, that boy couldn't be held responsible for her.
Yes, but if Marta had never died, she never would have walked into the street.
Yeah, I know, but Kevin, I'm not his legal defense team, okay? I don't know if maybe he got sent to the electric chair. I don't fucking know. Whatever makes you happy.
So that's 4 human deaths then in this story.
The little boy was executed later that week. Oh my God. But yeah, no, your poodle's dead. 3 people are dead on your sidewalk, and I don't know, just bad times all around. And that was
electric chair.
That was in its entirety my hyperfixation of the week. I just was like laughing hysterically and then simultaneously feeling guilty for laughing hysterically. But this was an absolutely wild story that I was like, I have to talk about this to someone. So I brought it here.
Well, this was the 80s. Like 2 of those people would have been dead by now. Like the 2 old people and the dog would have been dead by now anyway, right?
I mean, I guess. I mean, you never know. Maybe. Edith definitely would have stuck around, but
yeah, she would have.
I don't know, 75 years old, probably might not have been around to see, you know, she probably wouldn't have been around to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Probably not. No.
Probably not. She would never get to see Elizabeth Olsen killing people. You know what? Actually, like I use timestamps in like these stories. Like I always use them as like, you know, markers of time in my head. Like what cultural significance happened at that time that they would have, like, you know, known. On October 21st, 1988, when this happened, there's a good chance that one of these 4 people might have seen Carrie the musical on Broadway that year. It's possible. Not likely, but it's possible.
I don't think so.
Kevin, not that many people saw that show. It only ran for 6 days.
Yeah, and this was in Argentina. These were Argentinians.
What are you saying?
This was in Argentina. You think that these people flew all the way from Argentina to New York to see Carrie the musical?
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay, well, we got people from Canada who flew down to see it, so sit on it.
Canada is much closer to New York than Argentina is.
It doesn't matter, okay? The arts speak to us all. You never know. Impossible things are happening every day. Anyway, we got a couple more minutes if you wanted to chat about, I don't know, whatever else you want to bring to the table.
I don't know. I mean, we already talked about the Barbie movie, about how that Simpsons clip that's going around being of like, I know we spent 20 minutes talking about this doll, but we just
the president got arrested.
Oh yeah, by the way, the president got arrested.
We did. This was something I actually texted you on this, like, off screen. We have a confirmed release date for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah, and you were freaking out. You were like, oh my God. I mean, yeah, like, I'm surprised this is finally happening too.
but with such speed. We just got casting announcements.
We don't know how well. I think there was some casting announcement like a few months ago. I think it was announced that like Matthew Lillard was going to be in it and someone else. I don't remember who else. But
Matthew Lillard. That's all we care about. It's Matthew Lillard.
Yeah. And
but it's coming out this year, October 27th, 2023. Like, I just did not.
Well, we don't know how much filming was done, before without us knowing.
I guess also, okay, because this is a Blumhouse production. Blumhouse, I have noticed, is either, they either go whole hog or they don't really give a shit. What do you think this movie's going to be?
I think they're going to go pretty hog on this. Apparently the animatronics are going to be made by the Jim Henson puppet,
I did see that.
Puppets.
Because with I'm having a stroke. Sorry. The way that the animatronics of Five Nights at Freddy's are like designed to move, I desperately wanted them to be practical effects, because if it was just a CGI nightmare, what's the point? Don't make this movie then. Just watch the game. Like, it's really no point. So I am excited that Jim Henson's company is getting like behind this, but I'm also like cautiously optimistic because this movie's been in development hell for years now.
It has.
It's, oh my God.
And I actually think that Five Nights at Freddy's now, after The Last of Us, I think that Five Nights at Freddy's actually would have made for a better miniseries than a movie. With 5 episodes.
That would actually make perfect sense. I would love to see that. I'm also realizing I am so much more into miniseries than one. There's like more like of a universe to build. You come more attached to the characters. There's more like plot to go into. With a movie, it's over after an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it's like, oh shit. Okay, what do I do now?
Well, see, here's the thing. I think that Five Nights at Freddy's would have worked really well if for each episode, it's about the night shift guard, trying to avoid getting killed by the animatronics. But then but every episode has a flashback of the lore of the franchise about, William Afton and killing them kids. And
in a weird way, I also with how popular Five Nights at Freddy's is and has been, I kind of hope we're getting more or less an original story. I don't want just a rehashing of the lore that's already been established. You know what I mean?
Well, Connor, the lore is constantly changing. And
I mean, that's because Scott Cawthon has indecisive. He lets his audience write his stories for him.
He does. He truly does. He truly lets them write the story. He's just this purple guy killed kids. Figure out the rest.
Yeah, it's you've made an empire off of just fan theories, and it's oh yeah, that one's canon. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Also, that little girl, she's a robot, by the way.
What little girl's a robot?
The girl in the novels.
Oh, I didn't read it. I did read one of the graphic novels, but it left no impact on me. I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, it's
I do know that there's Matt Pat Empreg in the novels. That was I cannot explain it, but I do know that there was a large number of people being Matt Pat got pregnant in these novels, and it was.
You know what?
I'm too afraid to look into it.
You know what? You're probably right.
Oh my goodness. That being said, are you going to see this movie?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, absolutely. Because I remember you introduced me to Five Nights at Freddy's back when it was just a single game, and it was relatively indie.
Yeah,
not a lot of people know about it.
Remember back when Five Nights at Freddy's was just one game, and we didn't know anything about the lore, and it was just there were just newspaper clippings that saying missing kids, and that
the
was
bite
it.
of 87.
Yeah, the bite of 87. That was it, Also, the animatronics weren't possessed. They were programmed to they had a faulty malfunction where they
recognized a body as an endoskeleton without
and they think that oh, this doesn't belong here. Put this in the suit and that kills you.
Yeah, which I never understood the logistics of it, because I was what if I'm being forced into a suit? Is the suit full of an endoskeleton? I didn't get it.
No, but the suit has wires, cross beams and wires and stuff, and that's what kills you.
Yeah, I guess. Still, God, it was such a fun game. And like, you know, the less you knew, the more your mind could run wild, so to speak. And then the more information we got, I was just like, oh, this is just like, you know, it's almost like a history class at this point with the amount of shit you have to catch up on.
Have you seen that video of that lady who was like, of that woman who was like teaching like a class, and like they were like, teacher, this is boring. She's like, oh, really? Well, you know, it's not boring. The Bite of 87.
Not a clue. What are you talking about?
Like some teacher or professor was like teaching a class. And like she brought up that Bite of 87 and the class was suddenly really interested. They were like, oh shit, what happened in the Bite of 87? Oh my God.
Okay. I mean, I'll have to take your word for it because I don't know how to Google this. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. It also, like, because it's Blumhouse and they are like, Blumhouse always gets a Horror Nights house at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. There's a very good chance we're probably going to get a Five Nights at Freddy's Horror House.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get it this year, though.
Definitely not this year, but hey, impossible things are happening every day. They whipped up Stranger Things.
That is the second time you said that in this goddamn episode, you
Kevin, that's like my catchphrase. I use it at work all the time. But they whipped up the Stranger Things house in, I think, a month. Like, that was like rush development. Like, it was absolutely insane how quickly they pulled that one out.
But this movie comes out in October, though, right?
Yeah, but again, we have, like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's already existing. If we, like, you know, just use the film rights or like how the animatronics appear in the films, it's totally legal, or at least encouraged.
I suppose.
It's not likely, but I think it is plausible.
Okay.
I would like to see it happen.
I would like to see it.
I would like to see the baby. Oh, also Lizzo was on Star Wars with Jack Black, and she helped.
Yes. Oh my God. Wait. Yes.
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, you showed me that you thought it was an SNL skit.
In what universe did it make sense for Lizzo and Jack Black to be a married couple holding Grogu? It's canon now.
Yeah,
it is so cool.
I know, and Christopher Lloyd is in that episode too.
What?
Yes.
I had no idea. I got to watch this fucking show. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, The Mandalorian really does have a lot of strange casting choices. Like, there's Amy Sedaris is in the show.
Yes, I knew that.
Bill Burr is in it.
Okay.
And now Lizzo and Jack Black. And I'm pretty sure there's some other weird casting choice that I'm forgetting about right now.
Pascal. I don't know. Anyway,
that's not a weird casting choice, Connor. He's the lead.
He's the Mandalorian.
He's the Mandalorian. Although if you watch the show now in this current season, he's kind of not the Mandalorian.
He's a Mandalorian.
Yeah, the show's focus really switched to this other character in the show, who was introduced in season 2, who was actually from the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And I don't know how I feel about it, because on the one hand, it's like good for her, but on the other hand, it's like, girl, get your own damn show. Like,
Ahsoka did it.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen the trailer for Ahsoka? It looks.
I did not, but I heard amazing stuff.
I'm excited for it, but I feel like people who've never seen Rebels are going to be so confused by it.
Definitely, absolutely, it's fan service, but you know, it looks. I'm glad she's getting her time in the sun. She was one of my favorite Disney Infinity characters.
And that's what you know her from.
Exactly. That being said, Kevin, we've been chatting for so long. I think it's time to say goodbye.
I think it's time we wrap it up.
Fantastic. So thank you so much for joining us once again on this glorious Monday night. If you guys enjoyed that, remember you can now listen to us anywhere you download your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Acast, iHeartRadio, Spotify. You can also find us right here on YouTube, where we have always been for our video format at the Empty the Bench Podcast Network.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button and leave us a comment.
Please and thank you. And if you would like to see more of us individually, you can follow us on social media. You can follow over. Oh my God, look at those pit stains. You can follow me at my social medias at Connor K Fitz 92.
And you can follow me anywhere at It's Kevin O'Lear. That's ITSKEVINOLEAR. Shit, I almost spelled my name wrong.
Oh, and also check out etvpodcast.com. That's just like our straight up website, which I did not know about.
Wow, we have a website.
Apps. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm gonna go take a shower and put this shirt in the wash.
And I'm not, because I already showered today.
Because my mom does my laundry. Sorry.
Bitch!
You got me for my fidget toy. Thank you so much. We will see you next Monday at 7 p.m. right here on the Fruity Zero podcast.
See you then. Stay fruity.
Goodbye, guys. We'll see you then.
Same fruity time, same fruity network.